Alright, well hello, I'm Jog, and welcome to Age of Empires 2, the Definitive Edition. Coming straight off of Age of Mythology, Age of Empires 2 is essentially the same thing, while at the same time being completely different. So, kind of like I did with Age of Mythology, I'm going to be doing the campaigns, and, well, there's a lot of campaigns. So we have Europe, Asia, America, and Africa available to us for the Definitive Edition. And I don't have any of the DLC, so I don't have the West DLC for Western Europe, the Dawn of the Dukes DLC for Eastern Europe, the Dynasty of India for South Asia, or the Mountain World for the Caucasus. Which, I mean, if there's DLC, how is this a Definitive Edition? But oh well, whatever. We're going to start things off with William Wallace, which is essentially the Learn How to Play campaign. From 1296 to 1298, the warriors of Scotland attempt to hold off an invasion of the better-equipped English armies. Learning the basic concept of Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, such as building an economy, training your soldiers, and most importantly, fighting and defeating your enemy. If you're new to real-time strategy games, you will learn all you need to know. If you have played the original Age of Empires game, you can skip ahead to more advanced features, such as collecting relics and siegecraft. In this campaign, you will play as the Celts. Yes. So each campaign plays at a different civilization. So the Celts, the Franks, the Teutons, the Huns, and so on and so forth. But we'll deal with them in time. For the difficulty, I'm not as familiar with Age of Empires as I am with Age of Mythology. That being said, I will go for hard AI difficulty, and data, I guess I'll just leave it default? I don't know. Either way, let's the marching and fighting begin.
We are without a leader. The dead King of Scotland has no heir. War creeps in from the south. What Edward Longshanks, the avaricious King of England, has returned from successful campaigns in Wales and France. As Longshanks turns his attention to Scotland, the shadow of fear settles across the Highlands. The English have thousands of Welsh longbowmen, hundreds of knights on horseback, and dozens of siege weapons. We Scottish have a rabble of untrained soldiers who do not even know how to march in a straight line. We must act soon. If we're to have any chance of resistance, we need to forge an army by any means necessary.
Alright, so the first one. Your main objective, follow the instructions to reach the Scottish village. You may scroll to view more of the map by moving the mouse to the side of the screen. For example, move your mouse to the very bottom to scroll down. The road ahead leads to the nearby Scottish village. I don't know why I found looks. But yes, here we go.
The English are terrorizing all of Scotland, and it's time for us to fight back. But if we are to defeat them, every one of us will need to learn how to march and fight. Follow the path to the blue flag. First, click the soldier. Good. Now right-click near the blue flag.
So yeah, this is a bare bones basic of how to actually just get things going.
Now move to the next flag. Click the soldier, then right-click near the flag.
Yeah, I already have them, so I don't have to, like, click again. But obviously, if I don't have anybody toggled, then I can't do anything.
Now to move to the next flag, you must walk through the black area.
Kid?
Yeah, so this black area over here is unexplored, so we don't know what's actually out there at all until we actually go through there.
Reveals more of the map. The black area represents unexplored territory.
That is correct.
That's
now,
all there is to it. Now go to the next flag, where you will meet some allied soldiers.
So I mentioned that the black area we have not explored. The white area, the bright area that I'll call it, is areas that we can see right now, and everything out here that's in like this darkish like shadow. If there's a difference, like say this tree gets chopped down, I won't know about it until I have somebody who has line of sight of it, because that's what it's called, line of sight. This flag had this line of sight, which is say like 3 tiles, we have a line of sight of say like 5. And line of sight goes around in a circle, so yes. Simple enough to get started. Anyways, we've got a bunch of people now.
To move all your soldiers at once, click near the units and drag around them. Then right-click to move them. Try moving your soldiers to the next flag.
Yeah, so for this one we got a knight who was on horseback, who was very, very fast compared to the militia. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have you... Can I get you? There we go. I'm going to have him go over there and have these guys go over there. Now granted, these are 3 guys when you have a group of units put together, I want to say they move
Did
as
all your
fast as the
units make it to
slowest
the flank?
unit.
The road ahead is guarded by an English outpost. Scroll up to the outpost building by moving the mouse to the very top of the screen. Then click the red outpost. Good. Now scroll back down until you can see your soldiers again by moving your mouse to the very bottom of the screen. Select your soldiers by clicking near them and dragging a box around them. Right-click the outpost to attack it. Keep following the road to the outpost. It's time to knock it down.
I'm gonna do my best to let the narration actually take over when it's actually playing, so I'm not, like, talking over it, but yes. Outpost, essentially, think of it as a unit that gives you line of sight, kind of like these flags are doing for us right now, but it can't attack, it doesn't do anything, it just gives you, or whoever built it, line of sight of the area. So by destroying this, I remove the British's ability to actually see what's going on in this area.
Tall.
The outpost is destroyed. That should slow the English raids. Keep following the path to the village.
Tall.
So yeah, we're pretty much done with this one. I think there's going to be a little bit more, but yes. Different units have different special abilities. Like, militia, these guys are your basic infantry. Good against fighting horseback.
The English are angry that you destroyed their outpost. They're coming to attack your village.
Kid. Tall.
Usually it's like militia are good
Just
against...
click your soldiers and right-click the red English soldiers to attack. Defeat the enemy soldiers, and you'll have won your first battle.
It's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors. Usually it's infantry that can be good against cavalry, cavalry good against archers, and archers that are good against infantry.
Back against the English army.
But there is also counter to that.
Here.
Either way, we just finished up the first mission, and it was just to learn how to march. So there are going to be more important things as we go along.
Scotland has soldiers now, if only a few. But if we are to turn back the greed of Edward Longshanks, we'll need many more recruits and much more gold in our coffers. These ancient stones and oaks around us will soon be drenched with the blood of clansmen.
Alright, and so every time we finish up a mission, we can get ourselves a statistic score. That's a little way of just seeing what you did and how things go. So, my military, my economy, all this is kind of useless for this mission, just because, again, this is a tutorial, but when you go into, like, the more advanced ones, or if you go to, like, the free play or the multiplayer, this could be important. Like, oh, I killed 3 units, I lost 0, I destroyed a building, I lost none. Units converted is something else we'll deal with later on, and largest army, that being my 3 militia and my knight. Economy, food collected, wood collected, stone collected, and gold collected. Again, just like Age of Mythology, we have food, wood, and gold. We don't have favor like we did in Mythology, but we have stone instead. The reason being that they didn't want to have 5 in Mythology. Technologies, Feudal Age, Castle Age, again, this stuff will be important later on. Map, percentage explored, research you did, research percentage, blah 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 blah. Alongside a bunch of other things, and yeah. All this will be more important later on. Anyways, we're done with the first one. Now on to feeding the army.
An army marches on its stomach, or so the old saying goes. My clansmen have been farming and tending sheep for hundreds of years, but gathering enough food to feed an army is a different matter entirely. Without a strong economy, the meagre forces that we have cobbled together will collapse again.
So yes, we dealt with moving units. Now let's actually use villagers. Our main objective is to gather 50 food, wood, and 50 gold. Villagers can gather food, wood, gold, and stone that you need to build buildings, research technologies, and create units, not just soldiers. There are gold deposits to the northeast and the southeast of your town center. I'll keep that in mind.
To support the Scottish army, you will need to build up your stockpile of resources. To win, gather 50 food, 50 wood, and 50 gold.
So yes, here we have a
gather food from the forage bush.
villager.
Click a villager, then right-click a forage bush near the blue flag.
We could. One thing I want to point out real quick. This
In the status
icon
area
up
at the
here.
bottom of the screen, you can see how much food the villager is carrying. The villager continues to gather from the forage bush until he is carrying 10 food.
Yes, okay. This icon up here will let you know if any villagers are idle. Very useful because idle villagers
The
means
villager
that
will
you are
continue
not...
working for you, carrying the food to the town centre.
Yes. Idle villagers mean that they're not doing anything for you other than just taking up population space, so it's usually a good idea to try to keep an eye on making sure they always have villagers doing something of value. Now, as I said, he can carry 10, we just dropped that off, and now we have 10 in our storage.
In addition to your food stockpile, you can see your current wood, gold, and stone stockpiles.
We also see that
The
we
more
have...
villagers you have, the faster you can gather resources. Assign your new villagers to gather food.
So yes, we can see our population. I have 5 out of 5.
You found some gold.
So my population is now at capped. I can't get any more population unless I find a way of increasing that. No one is idle. We're in the first age, which is the Dark Age. There are ways of advancing to better ages, such as the Feudal, Castle, and Imperial Age, but again, that'll be for later on. Oh, right, shoot. Oh, well. So this guy right here can give me the last of the food I need. These guys are going to be gold. These two are going to be stone. Oh, stone. Wood. Stone away. We're trying to get everything we could. This guy is in a bit of a bad position because he's all the way out here, which means he has to walk all the way back to the town center to actually gather resources. So not fantastic compared to this guy who's right next to it, and boom, he just drops his storage of wood off that much quicker.
Great. You now have 50 food. To win, also gather 50 wood and 50 gold.
Yeah, okay, so we just need these two to get me wood,
then right-click a tree.
and one more of
If you
these guys to get me
haven't found any
gold.
gold yet, search in the unexplored territory.
So usually you'll be wanting to build more villagers, but I'm going to let the game kind of, like, I'm going to try and let the game help us out a little bit and guide us. But if I wanted to get more population, instead of being housed, which is the term of when you hit your population cap, we want to build houses. 25 wood to give us +5 to our population cap. However, that only lasts as long as we have houses. So if I put down a house, I have a population cap of 10. If that house gets destroyed, my max goes down to 5. Which doesn't mean much as long as we still have... I can have 10 population, but only have a population cap of 5. It just means that I can't collect or generate any more units, I can't generate any more units until my current population is less than the population cap.
Edward Longshanks, for all his disrepute, has shown his military tactics in Wales, England and France to be very effective, if not cruel and ruthless. He is indeed an enemy to be feared. The English sacked the town of Berwick-upon-Tweed. With that I could call it a battle, but it was truly more of a massacre. Unless we organize our army, there will be more massacres to follow. I pray that we can be ready when Longshanks comes.
Okay, on to mission number 3, training the troops.
In villages throughout the Highlands, there is grim talk of skirmishes between Scotland and England. We lost the town of Dunbar this week. Scottish defenders broke ranks and fled. The English have an army that is larger and better trained. To compete with them, we are going to need new recruits to pick up spear, sword and bow. We must transform these shepherds into soldiers.
Alright, not always easy, but our main objective is to train 4 militia, which are just the basic military combat infantry units. I'll explore the map. You need to locate some extra resources and find out what your enemies are doing. We have not heard from our scouts. They're probably just lost in the woods or something.
We will need many soldiers
Typical
to defend
scouts.
our homeland. To win, you will need to create 4 militia. We'll start by creating villagers. Click your town centre.
Alright,
Then
so
click the Create Villager button in the lower left corner of the screen.
yes, we can see a lot out of this. If you click it once, you get one
It takes
going.
time for the villager to appear. If your town centre is selected, you can see the progress in the status area at the bottom of your screen.
So yes, we can see how everything is more or less coming along. Although, again, we're going to come to the issue of being housed as soon as this villager is created.
Good job. The villager has appeared next to your town centre. Now, create another villager.
Yeah,
You need
can't.
additional housing to support your population. To build a house, click a villager.
Buildings.
Click the
House.
Buildings button. Click the Build House button. Then click where you want to build the house.
So yeah, you can essentially build You can build things almost anywhere, just like, hey, I can't build it on top of a tree, I can't build it on top of a berry bush, I can't build it on top of blah blah
It will
blah.
go up faster.
Kia.
Yes, that is also another thing. I think there was diminishing returns though. But yes, the more people, generally, the more people you have building, the faster things will go.
The population indicator at the top of the screen shows your current and supportable population.
I think I'll cut back a little bit.
Other buildings are made just like houses. Try building a barracks. The barracks is a military building.
Alright. We can build one, or better yet, we can build two of them. It never hurts to have multiple of a building. Get over here. So I want to say, having these two separated, one working on each, is a way to build these two buildings faster than having both of them on one and then moving to the other. I could be mistaken, but I want to say that is generally the better way of doing things. Also, going back to buildings, we can see a mill, which we need if we want to make farms, a mining camp to use to deposit stone and gold, but also a lumber camp, which is used to not only store wood, but also to get upgrades. The same thing with the stone and the other one.
Now you can create soldiers. Click the barracks, then click the Create Militia button. Selecting different buildings or units gives you different options in the lower left corner of the screen.
So yes, if we go into here, now we can see that we can make militia. They cost 60 food and 20 gold. If I double click on this, I can get both of them, and if I click this, let's say 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, I go inside, it's building 2 in here and 2 in there, so it essentially got them. It didn't make 4 in each, so yes. Because I built a mill, I can make farms, and with farms, I can get food.
Create 3 more, and you will have enough soldiers to protect this area and win the scenario. Click the barracks, and quickly click the Create Militia button 3 more times to make 3 soldiers in a row. Now that you have a few soldiers, you will be able to defend this area against English attacks.
Yep. So, one idea would probably be to use your military to explore the map. You can also do the same thing with your villagers. I don't know much about the actual competitive scene in this. I've seen a couple of games and all that, but I am no way ready to do any of those. I'm definitely a low elo player if I did that.
Now that we have militias stationed across the border, the English have slowed their raids. But facing Longshank's army will be another matter. The wicked English king is yet to bring his famous longbows to bear. Our militias can only get us so far. We're going to need more advanced weapons.